Most people think that leadership is personality, that it's motivation, that it's charisma, or that it's inspiring the team. Well, no, it's not. Leadership is a system. So if you don't have the system, your business will run on mood. And that's when you get things like rework, the chaos that comes with it, high turnovers, and leaders will be putting out fires daily. This is why I created SPQR, which is standards, people, quality, and results. Again, that is standards, people, quality, and results. It's not just a leadership foundation, it is an operating system for your entire business. It works for trainees, supervisors, managers, directors, VPs, and CEOs. It will tell you what to do when things get messy. SPQR is a simple 4-question system that you can run on anything. SPQR is a simple 4-question foundation that you can run on absolutely anything throughout your business. S is standards. All right. So here's an example. What does done look like? P is people. Who owns it and how can we treat and correct people fairly? Q, quality. How do we check it so we catch problems before they spread? R is results. So this is what numbers prove that your standards are working. If you can't answer these, you don't have a process and you're running on hope, and hope is not a strategy. So let's talk money, budgeting, financing, financials, anything to do with your cash flow. People treat budgets like it's a spreadsheet problem, and it really isn't. This is definitely a leadership issue. So, S, standards. What are the rules for spending? Who can approve what? What requires a second set of eyes? And if your standard is to just use common sense, you're already in trouble. So, who owns each budget line? Not finance owns it, but like who owns the labor costs? Who owns materials? Who owns the overtime? Ownership needs a name, not a department. So, make sure it's John Smith owns it, Jane Smith owns it, you own it. Q is quality. So, how would you catch your bad spending early? Would it be a weekly review, simple checks? But you got to remember when you're doing this, bring zero drama. If you only look at the numbers at month end, you're not leading, but you're reacting. And R is results. So, what does success look like? Is it gross margin? Is it the overtime coming down? Is the waste down? Is your cash flow stable? You need to make sure that the results are visible. Otherwise, you'll argue opinions instead of fixing the actual issue. In other words, SPQR turns budgeting into discipline instead of panic. Let's take this into decision making. So, most businesses are slow because nobody knows who owns the authority to decide. So, they'll meet again, they'll wait. And of course, with waiting, the problem is going to get worse instead of it being solved. SPQR can fix that. So, S, standards. What decisions can be made fast and which ones require review? Not every decision is the same size. So, it could be as simple as, oh, we need to get a water fountain at the back of the office so that the people in the back can have something to drink, get to and from quickly, instead of going all the way to the front of the office to waste time getting water, possibly have a couple conversations along the way, that kind of thing. It all leads down to wasting time. Some people just want to work, and they want the most efficient thing possible for them. Now, with that, if you're doing a multi-million-dollar business deal and acquiring possibly some new property, a building, hiring a bunch of new people for a brand new department, yes, that will absolutely require a little bit more thinking, reviewing, and so on. People. Who decides, who advises, who executes, who gets informed? If those are not clear, then you'll get politics and paralysis just based on the stagnation of data flow and the inability to choose who does what. Quality. This is before a big decision, you check the quality of thinking, like what's the risk? What's the cost? Do you have a plan B? And above all, you need to make sure this is all clear. Not 10 pages of mumbo jumbo corporate talk that nobody gives two hoots about. It needs to be one, maybe 1.5, 2 pages long, but above all, it needs to be clear. And I believe that is exactly what quality looks like. R is results. So every decision needs one measurement. One, not five, not seven, one. Otherwise, you're just going to have a debate club, and that's not fun. SPQR will turn decisions into action, not theater. Let's hit the training side of things. Most training fails because it's vague. People will just say, "Oh, do your best," and then they'll get mad because your best is not good enough. SPQR ends that. S, standards. Trainees need to see what done right is in writing. It needs to be visible, and it needs to be not just watch Joe and figure it out, because that's how bad habits will spread. If Joe had bad habits, it will spread to you, your new trainee, and that is a not so good thing, because then you'll be fixing fires later on. P is people. You correct fast and you correct privately. All right. Again, you correct fast, but you correct privately. You praise publicly and do it often. Never, ever humiliate your staff. Correcting them, you don't do it in front of people. You don't call people out on their mistakes in a meeting. You just pull them aside. Correct it right then and there. And you need to protect the team from that one toxic person. That could be your lead sales guy who's bringing in $200,000 a month for your company, but the room is just absolutely miserable when he's around. It could be your CEO, a VP. It could be your boss or even you. And if it's you, I hope you catch it fast. Q is quality. We want to inspect early and we want to inspect often. We want to be able to catch the small mistakes, which will save us 10 or 20 hours next week instead of trying to fix things. It's not micromanaging. The difference is that micromanaging will always have somebody right here yapping in your ear, telling you how to do it, when to do it, instead of trusting you to do your job that you've been hired to do. And inspecting early is just, okay, this is great, awesome, next step. Let's go. And then you walk away, do your own thing. It's that simple. R is results. So training needs milestones and not vibes. So you should be able to say to a rookie staff, by day 7, you can do X. By day 14, you can do X and Y. This works, again, for rookies and veterans alike. And as we all know, even experienced people tend to drift when the standards aren't enforced. Now let's take a look at the executive end of things. So this is for owners, VPs, CEOs, and so on. Here's the truth. The higher up that you go, the more people will lie to you. And no, it's not because they're evil. It's simply because they're scared or they want to look good and they don't want conflict. SPQR protects leaders from that crappy echo chamber. S, standards. If a standard is written and enforced, you're not going to need gossip. You have clarity from all your staff. P, people. If leaders protect people and correct fairly, people will speak up sooner. So again, if leaders protect people and correct fairly, people speak up sooner. That will save you a lot of time in the end on trying to find the little mistakes or the little issues, and you could fix them right then and there. Q, quality. If quality is checked daily, problems can't hide. So again, that ties back to people with them speaking up sooner, which also ties into standards because they're written and enforced and people are not gossiping, but rather they're bringing you clarity of the issue that they are having. And of course, now we go into R, which is results, which is if the results are visible, truth becomes unavoidable. All right, this whole system just keeps rotating in the best positive circle possible. That's what executives need as well. They don't need inspiration. They need the truth of the issues that are going on, the things that arise, so that they could fix it, so that the quality gets better, so that the people are happy and the results keep on turning in the positive ways. SPQR is simple on purpose. Complexity makes things complicated. If you want to know where your operation is breaking down, I do something called a command review. We find out what problems are going on and we find them fast. That's standards. It could be your people, your quality, or your results. And we will make sure that you leave with the first correction to make. There's no bullshit, there is no theater, just the standard that we create. Until next time, I'll see you later.